Well, the quote today is from Ernest Holmes. The thing then works for us by working through us and is us always. It cannot work for us in any other way. It spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle, but it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. Therefore, our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limit. So the talk today, Your Open Heart, is really about allowing ourselves to be who we really are and to create an energy moving forward that allows us to really shout from the rooftops our authentic, honest, unique voice. So last week, I know some of you were present for the water ceremony where we did a release ceremony about letting go of that which no longer serves, that which we did not want to bring into 2025, that which may have been a challenge for us or a difficulty. And so as we begin the new year, I invite you to do your practice of forgiveness and gratitude so that whatever has been holding you back or holding you down or causing you a challenge or despair, allow that to be released. Let it go. And step into this new year, remembering that the idea of impossible, let's shift it to I'm possible. I'm possible. When we start to think that I cannot do it, let's remember I'm possible. When we get into that place of, oh, this is difficult or hard, wait a minute, no, I'm possible. And I'm possible because within me, pardon me, within me, there is a power and a presence that is infinite, all powerful, all knowing. It's touching life everywhere. And so it's you and it's me. And if we begin to live from that power, from that strength, from that place, all of a sudden we realize there's no such thing as can't or try or should have's. There's no more impossible. We start to acknowledge the possibility that we are, in fact, enough. That whatever it is we have need of is right here. We came into this life with it. We don't need to find it. We don't need to go get it. We just need to maybe shut out the stories we hear from the outside world so that we can begin to live from the inside out. And so we do our daily practice and pardon me, we do whatever we need to do to ensure that we are living our very best life and doing it in a way that honors our authentic self. See, we were created perfect, whole, and complete. Now, we might view ourselves as flawed and broken, but that's actually one of the lies that we tell ourselves. And we tell ourselves that because certain behaviors were recorded in our early years by siblings or parents or teachers telling us what's bad, what's right, what's good, what's wrong. And we bought into the idea that somehow within us there was something that was flawed. I'm here to say God does not create junk. The Spirit does not create garbage. So within you, there is an absolute power and presence that is infinite and eternal, that is goodness and light. And what we want to do is to acknowledge the parts of ourselves that we have named bad and realize that as we begin to merge all of us, as we accept all of us, everything we were told is wrong, we begin to accept it. We think about that yin-yang symbol, you know, the white and the black that are merged together. So both are completely apparent and yet they are one. It is in that living in our oneness, in our uniqueness, that we begin to create a life that is powerful, positive, and productive without great struggle. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be a bad day, because frankly, those happen. But it's not that it's bad. It's just an interrupt that might be redirecting us. So we want to look at the words that we use and begin to embrace the power within us so that those words no longer take us down a dark road. So when we're having a difficulty, instead of calling it bad, let's go, wow, okay, what's my new direction? What is the next step I need to take? What is the universe calling me to? And we begin to step into a bigger, more expansive openness in our life experience. And it is a powerful thing, but we must embrace that divine guidance. So when you're faced with a brick wall in front of you, change direction. Turn and look the other way. Decide that, oh, I'm being stopped. Why am I being stopped? Maybe there's something different I need to do. Let me take a moment in the silence. Let me take a moment in the quiet and let me listen to that still small voice within. There is something for me to do, and I am willing to do it. You know, we're here to explore ways to clear mental and emotional clutter. That was some of what we did last week, creating room for new possibilities to emerge. And, you know, one of the things that's so funny about us is we really resist change. We don't like change at all. But how on earth are we going to create our new expansive vision, our great new life, live that beautiful dream that we've been harboring for years without changing something? Yeah. So change is our friend. Change is what happens. Now, remember, the essence of us is changeless, right? That part of us that is the divine, that is changeless. But the human us, the body us, the one that lives in this world, now that is in constant change. And our resistance to that change really just makes us miserable. It's one of the causes of suffering. Suffering isn't something that we have to do. It is truly optional, as a Buddhist would say. Pain is inevitable. Suffering, however, is optional. So when we suffer, a lot of what we're doing, and you know, we did last week, we did a release ceremony. So I'm hoping you've released it all and let it go, and you're not going to bring it into the new year. But sometimes what happens is we do a release and we let go of that thing that's been haunting us. And then all of a sudden we pull it forward and we bring it up in our memory and we start to relive it again. Well, they did this and they said that, and oh, I hate this and that's awful. And all of a sudden, what are we feeling? We're feeling despair and pain and struggle yet again. And we don't have to. We can sever the tie that we have to that old story. We can let that story go because, frankly, it sucked when it first happened and it's continuing to now. Why would I want to keep bringing it forward? Why would I want to keep bringing it up? So what we want to do is do a release where we really let go and we stand in this moment with an open heart, saying yes to life, yes to change, yes to possibility, yes to a new day. You see, we were created in a way that allows us to create something completely brand new. And we're creating from the source of life. We're creating from the oneness of life. So we don't have to look at external conditions and go, oh, well, you know, the last time I fell in love, this is what happened. I ain't never doing that again. No, that's not it. What happened in the past is in the past. Each day I am a new person standing in a new place in the universe. And so in this newness, I want to open my heart and look for that new career, that new opportunity, live within my own power and presence to go, yes, this is who I am. This is what I love. This is what I want. This is what I desire. And know that I'm possible. So we immediately let go of the doubt, the worry, the things that have held us back, and we stand in our power and we say yes to that still small voice. We begin to act from spirit, knowing that the only way that it works is through us, not to us. And so we want to remind ourselves of that often. And it is true that we're influenced by circumstance, you know, feeling hot on a sweltering hot day, or like today here in Toronto, or if you're in Saskatoon or Calgary, There might be a little bit of cold air out there as well. That cold, we'll hear ourselves complaining. I don't know. I've been living in Canada my whole life, and every year we have winter. So why am I complaining about an occurrence that I cannot alter or change, that is inevitable? So there's a call for us to acknowledge, yeah, okay, now I need a heavy coat, and in the summer I need a little t-shirt. Neither is good or bad, they just are. And so when we can learn to just love what is, we start to see ourselves moving into a more peaceful state where we can live day by day with a real sense of kindness and compassion, love and support for ourselves and others, and be in a place of possibility. Our true power lies not in controlling external conditions, but in mastering our thoughts and beliefs about those conditions. A cold day isn't a bad day. It's a cold day. A hot day isn't a bad day or even a good day. It's simply a day, a hot day. When we start to really acknowledge that what's going on around us just is, and how we think about it is what creates our suffering or our joy. Imagine for a moment that you're sitting at home and your teenager's out and they're 3 hours past curfew. Where does our mind go? What if they were kidnapped? What if they were in an accident? What if we're all this negativity? I'm going to kill that kid when they get home. They've got me worrying so much. They didn't get you worrying. You chose to worry because you went into the what if negativity. But what if they're having a blast? What if they're having the best time ever? What if they lost track of time? What if they're going to walk through the door any minute? What if we just rest knowing all is well? And the kid walks in and we're, oh, thank goodness you're home. And we're all excited and happy. And then all of a sudden that changes. There's the excitement and delight that they came in the door. And then it's, you little so-and-so, you had me worried. Back to the suffering. See, we have a choice in all this because it's our thinking that causes that. So when we think that something's awful, bad, and terrible, we feel bad and terrible. When we're thinking, whoa, this is the best day ever, all of a sudden we're shiny and bright and smiling and glorious. Our thinking. We want to take a look at what we read and what we think and how we process life and begin to go, what if it's all good? What if it's all good? We used to sing a song at CSL Toronto years ago. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good through me. I think I got that a little bit off, but it's like knowing that spirit isn't something out there or different, that it is us. Every cell of our body, the thoughts of it's all within this one presence and power. So we want to allow it to flow and to move, allow it to be in our experience and move forward with a sense of joy and possibility. We get to choose, and every choice we make will result in an experience. The experience just is. But if I call it bad, then that's what it's going to be for me. And I get to be miserable. All of it is choice. The creative law responds to our habitual thinking. Ooh, yeah. Shaping our lived experience according to the sum total of our thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and opinions. There isn't a single perfect thought to hold. Rather, it's crucial to become aware of the thoughts we're having and recognize their impact on our reality. So when you wake up tomorrow morning and you stub your toe and all of a sudden you're going, oh, this is the worst day ever, maybe correct that and go, whoa, my toe hurts. Whew, let me put a little ice on it. It just is. Is it painful? Yes. You wish you hadn't done it? For sure. But it happened. Put a little ice on it and look for all the beauty in the world around you. There is always beauty. There is always goodness. There is always grace. Even in the midst of our pain and suffering, there is the possibility to have something different. And to have it different, we must think differently. We have been created perfect, whole, and complete. It is our belief in our flaws, our belief in not enough, our belief in we're just bad, terrible, awful, whatever that belief is. I did this wrong, the guilt, the resentment, all of that creates our suffering. And all of those things are created here. They're all thoughts. We think about what we did wrong 45 years ago, 65 years ago, and we feel bad today. What if we look at what we did wrong and go, wow, I'm so glad I'm doing it better now. So glad I'm on the other side of that. I'm so happy that I've found a new way that when my negative thinking pops in, I go, oh man, out of here. What I know is the world is beautiful and filled with glorious people. Are there challenges? Are there people I don't particularly care for? Of course. And I don't have to live in that struggle. I don't have to fight what is, because what is. What I want to do is surrender instead and go, now what? With excitement in my voice, excitement in my energy. Now what? Something great is coming. I don't know what it is, but I know it's good. And then when a bump happens, go, oh, redirection. All right, let me look around. Where am I supposed to go next? And redirect. If I'm blocked in one way, if I'm in a job that I'm miserable in, let it go. Or change the way you think about it. Ah, yes. It's a fascinating thing that can happen when you change the way you think about a certain circumstance. Something happens and a change occurs. Understanding this thing, you know, I've got a workshop coming up in a couple of months called This Thing That I Do. And really, that's what I call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, this thing that I do. And I started calling it that years ago when I was in real estate, because I would have clients or other realtors come to me with a challenge and I'd go, well, you know, there's this thing that I do. Would you like me to do it with you or about this situation? And they'd go, yeah, okay. And I say, well, just sit and close your eyes. And I would speak truth and they would leave happy and feeling better. And no one knew that it was spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. They just knew that it was this thing that I do that might help them. The way we think about life, the way we think about our journey, the way we think about the people around us, the way we think about our circumstances, those are the things that create suffering or joy. Because within us is joy. It's always been there, always will be there. We've put a blanket of suffering over it and we can remove that blanket any moment. It doesn't take years or months or weeks or centuries. It can be done in a second, just by creating a new idea. I remember when I had my spiritual epiphany, it's like I walked into a church with my mother-in-law, hoping she would one day like me. I walked in just in darkness. I was angry and I was frustrated with life and everything was wrong. And I walked into that place figuring I could suffer through an hour of church. And when I left there, it was like a beacon of light had all of a sudden filled me. And I have no idea what happened in that experience to shift me from darkness to light, but it did. And my life changed on a dime. A lot of it painful, right? Because what do? We resist change. And because we resist change, it is very painful. But if we allow life to flow and to move, a little bit like the ocean, you know, coming in and moving out, there's a flow that happens. If we allow ourselves to sit in that universal flow and let the energy move and pay attention to the open doors and windows and move away from that which is done. But we hang on. We hang on for dear life. I don't want to change. But I want this new life, but I don't want to change. But I want this great new career, but I'm afraid to change. It's time to change. Not who we are, but change the masks we've been wearing. Let's put them down. Let's find our true essence, our true self, our true power, that authentic self that we came into this life journey with. Let's remove all the veils that have been hiding the very essence of us. And let's begin to go back to the ideas that fuel and fill us. Let's open that heart wide so that we can begin to fill it with joy and possibility. Do you remember years ago, either in Sunday school or wherever, singing, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine"? But we don't. We don't always let it shine. We've decided that the light within us somehow isn't enough, and that needs to shift. This is a new year and a new day. And, maybe you set a bunch of goals or sat back and said, well, I'm going to do this different or that different. All of that is irrelevant. I invite you instead to go within. Just go within. Don't worry about how much you weigh, how much money's in the bank, who you owe money to. Don't worry about your job and whether you like it or not. Let all of that go and just surrender into the divine essence that is you. And in that place, choose to love yourself so deeply, so wildly, so passionately, that you shine that light in a way that our world is transformed. Each one of us is infinitely powerful. Each one of us is enough just as we are. And all those things you think that are bad about you, maybe somebody told you that. And that doesn't make it so. I invite you to look at your spiritual practice and make forgiveness a daily piece of it. To close your day off with gratitude for the beautiful things that have happened in your life that day. And I invite you at the end of the day to think of one thing that you're proud of and give yourself a little pat on the back. Wow, I did this and I feel really good about it. It's okay to feel good about the good things that you do. It is okay. And as you get up in the morning, set an intention. Something simple. This is the best day ever. That only takes a second. And then you can think about it through the day. A challenge comes up, go, well, it's the best day ever, so this is leading me somewhere. See, it doesn't have to be bad, awful. It could be good, great. And it's all in how we choose to look at it, because all of it is serving us. What we call bad and wrong or right and good, all of it is serving our life momentum. All of it is taking us someplace marvelous, if in fact we would be willing to surrender into our true essence and allow change to simply unfold. The essence of us, that part of us that's one with spirit, is changeless. It is a constant. But everything in the manifest world changes constantly. And until we get comfortable with change, until we can accept what is, because what is, can't change what is, but how I think about what is will create my next moment. So how I think matters. The words I speak, the words I think. So check in. Do your meditation in the morning, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes. Do a meditation where you just sit quietly. You'll notice your thinking. And that might make you think that the meditation isn't working. But I look at that thinking when it starts and I go, huh, I think that, I believe that. Wow, that no longer works for me. See, if I can see it, it's easier to change it. So sitting in the silence daily is a powerful and beautiful practice. I invite you to use affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment through the day when you feel a challenge or difficulty come on. Allow yourself to go into that energy and let it go. You are created powerful. You have been created good. You of yourself are enough, no matter what anybody ever said. And so I choose to love you just as you are. Let us join together in consciousness as we anchor these ideas. I rest in the beloved, the absolute. And I can feel the energy coursing through my physical body, my emotions, my spirit. All of it filled with this divine grace that allows me to see the authentic me and to love what I see. I've let go of the past. I've let go of the shoulda, woulda, couldas, the trying. I let it all go. And in this moment, I allow life to flow in and through me with ease and grace. And I see all of it as good. I see goodness everywhere I look. And when that is interrupted, I simply ask, now what? With joy in my voice, with a sense of true possibility and power. Now what? I'm ready. And as we step into that readiness, into that allowing, something truly remarkable does occur. A shift in consciousness creates a shift in experience. I honor all of it. And in this now moment, I accept that life is a journey without a destination. So I get ready for the ride and I enjoy each and every step. Filled with love and peace and joy, I release these ideas into the law of mind. It is done. And so it is. Well, this day that we're living is a really beautiful thing. So at this time, I'd like to invite you to share your good with our center. You know, the work that we do only happens because of all the goodwill of all the people who share in keeping this place alive and well. And so join with me in the abundance affirmation. As I give, so I receive. My good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. I am blessed. Blessings abound all around all life everywhere, or whatever that actually says. Blessings abound for all life everywhere. And I am grateful. And so it is. And now we have one more piece of music. Oh, right. You can donate through admin@cslontheLake.com. You can also, scan the QR code and use that on our website. You can give, and also you can mail a check to CSL on the Lake at 20 Bonnie Lynn Court, Toronto, M1K3A4.